I knew that there were issues in the supply chain with tea, and unfortunately there's a lot of exploitation of workers, and those workers tended to be women. And so I just looked at the cup of tea and I just said, I bet I could create a really great brand and really differentiate on our mission and help lift up these women who are unfortunately exploited. My name is Nguyen. I'm the founder and CEO of Purpose Tea in Dallas. My mother was pregnant with my youngest sister when we had decided to escape Vietnam. When the communists took over, they took everything. My dad, was an intellectual in Vietnam, so he had a lot of power at the time, but when Saigon fell, he had to go into what they called a re-education camp, which is essentially a concentration camp. They were like, we have to do this. We have to leave in order for our kids to have a better life. And so we did. We escaped in the middle of the night. I was 3. When we got here to the States, we were helped by a Lutheran church. And in a generation, we were able to lift ourselves up. That to me really shaped my worldview. If you have the work ethic and the family values and access to opportunity, you're also able to lift yourself up. I graduated in 1993 from South Grand Prairie High School, and from there I went to the University of Texas in Austin. I ultimately went into the marketing communications field. I loved building brands, but I had always known that I wanted to do something that made an impact on the world. So I thought to myself, I've been afforded this amazing opportunity. Why can't I start something that actually helps empower women and gives back to the world and really build a world that I want to live in? But life just got in the way. One day, my brother said, hey, whatever happened to you wanting to do your own thing? We were literally brainstorming over a cup of tea. And I'm an avid tea drinker. At the time, I knew nothing about purple tea. It was just this idea of creating a brand that could give back to women. I just started researching the heck out of the supply chain. So that led me to Kenya. So Kenya is the 3rd largest tea growing region in the world, and then it also sources a lot of their teas from independent farmers. My husband and I went to Kenya in the fall of 2016. I talked to a lot of female tea workers, understood the supply chain, how they took it to market, how they picked tea, how they processed tea. And then towards the end of the trip, she was like, hey, we have this thing. It's called purple tea. And I was like, what? Shut the front door. Like, what is purple tea? It has 42% less caffeine.
Smooth.
It's very good. It's got this really amazing phytonutrient called GHG that's, a link to fat burning. And it's got up to 50% more antioxidants than green tea. So I just thought, wow, I'm gonna create a brand, differentiate on our mission, but also on what I bring to market into the United States. So March 2017, I left my job and I started doing this full time. As an entrepreneur, you can't be scared of those things. You have to mitigate risks, of course, but I think what I would be more scared of is regret, is not actually doing something that I knew, I was so passionate about. When I talked to these women, they focused in on one major theme, and that is how do they become financially independent? A strategy to lift people out of poverty is to help empower women, because they know that when they do, there's this ripple effect of positive change in their lives and their families' lives and communities. Making $1 a day, that doesn't go very far. So 5% of our gross profits goes back to 3 major pillars. So 1 is training and education. 2 will be scholarships for their kids. And then 3rd is this access to land piece. So in Kenya, 95% of land is owned by men because it's passed down generationally to boys. So we really want to balance that out for them. So the better we do, the bigger we are, the more good we can do. We're in Whole Foods here in Dallas, but we are really scaling the summer of 2021 with a national rollout in Kroger. That'll put us about, 2,000-ish stores. We're 3 years into the business. We've trained more than 280 tea workers on financial management and budgeting, nutrition, and gender equity issues. The ultimate goal is for me to own, I think, the supply chain. And so we have the ability to control wages for these farmers and for the tea pickers. I feel like I'm making so much more of an impact, not only on my family's life and my community and future female entrepreneurs, but also for these women that are helping, bring this amazing product to market. It's not a job. It's like a calling.